There's a lot of talk out there about officers slowing down, officers not doing their job. That's simply not true. The officer is a little more cautious on what they're doing, but just today, we had a gentleman at around, I got a call, I left work about 1 o'clock this morning, about 6 o'clock, I got a call from my shift commander that we had a string of carjackings that had occurred. Basically what happened, the gentleman carjacked, had a vehicle, carjacked another vehicle, then he robbed another person, and then he went to the Eastern District. We caught him, and then we had another carjacking, totally separate earlier, while that was going on, and then we caught him. And we actually caught 3 of them down in the Eastern District as well, and they still had the handgun on them that they did the carjacking with. So the officers are working, they're out there trying. It's just what's happening is we're getting a lot of people who are a lot more brazen and are willing to carry weapons now. So we're getting back to normal. The officers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We're doing a lot of business checks because we've seen an increase in business robberies. And like Mike said, along Hartford Road last week, they just beat us up. We would deploy to the top end, they would hit us at the bottom end. So today, if you go up there, you'll see probably about 15 police officers. In the Northeast, if we can control Hartford Road and Bel Air Road and the Chump, the rest of the district will do well, because that's where the majority of our incidents occur. Either they're leaving the city or coming into the city on one of those 2 main corridors. So the community here is doing good with violence, but property crime, burglaries are up, and as well as the larceny from autos. Larceny from autos, there's a device, I know Mike talked about it, I'm convinced it's actually an application on the cell phone where it will go through and it will lock onto your device, your car combination, and unlock your door. That's the only thing I can think of. It's in a cell phone. Because we've caught a lot of larceny from auto suspects. We've never caught anybody with a device that actually does it. So one lady said she saw the kid with the cell phone and then her door popped. So it's probably an app. It's probably an underground app that somebody's come up with to unlock the doors. But even if I take every one of those away, probably 75% of the larceny from autos are people just leaving stuff in the car. Laptops, cameras, cash. And the worst of all is they leave their wallet with their ID. Because what they're going to do is they're going to steal your identity next. If you think the break-in of your car was a mess, wait until you have to redo your credit. The worst is, if you're going to leave anything in there, don't leave your Social Security card. Because once they get your Social Security number, they can create a whole new identity. And then they will basically wipe out everything that you own, and then you'll be starting over. You may get it back, but it's going to take you a while to do it. So try to remove all your valuables from your car. Stolen autos, Mike touched on that as well. And it's not so much that people are leaving their keys in the ignition anymore, but they have a valet key. Does everybody know what the valet key is? Because I didn't know what it was until somebody told me about a year ago. So you've got an extra key in there for valet parking. If you have that, take it out of your glove box, because what was going to be just the larceny from auto, if they find a key, they'll steal the car. And this is 2 things that I would highly recommend you get if you can. Is one is some kind of locking mechanism. I can't give a name for it because I'm not allowed to endorse anything. But some kind of locking mechanism when you're stealing steering wheel. We have yet to have a vehicle stolen with that locking mechanism or any steering wheel locking mechanism in place. What I would check is if you have an alarm, is call your alarm company, see if when the alarm goes off, if they notify the police. Because what we get is we get the alarm will go off, they'll notify you, then you come home, but by the time you get home, you're 15, 20, 30 minutes into it, and the burglar will already be gone. If it notifies the police directly, we can meet you there, and you'll have a better chance of getting there on time and catching, apprehending the suspect. Because is everybody aware that we went to new shifts and all new configurations, and actually it started in January with the new 10-hour shifts? And then what that does is from 1 p.m. until 2 a.m. 3 a.m. on the weekends, it gives us about 33% more officers on the street. And what they did is that could have been an easy fix, but it could have also been a lot of problems. But what the commissioner and the mayor did is they gave us enough vehicles to combat it. So we've got enough vehicles for all the officers, and we got almost enough officers. We do have the light duty and the medical people that get hurt in the line of duty, but we have enough vehicles where we can actually staff that shift properly. So what that does, it gives us more officers on the street Our response time has gone down dramatically. I know this district was notorious for having long response times, hour, 2 hours. We have not totally eliminated those because sometimes we will still take that long to get there, because if we have 2 major incidents in the air at one time, it's going to tie up every single officer that we have. They will still respond to in-progress calls, but the other calls like the disorderlies or loud music or something like that, it may take them a little bit longer to get